me, Brittany, Chat with Me, and of course, you would join. And this is Rodney. You don't tell me hi, tell them hi. This is Rodney. He just felt like he had to be in the video. He likes to be the center of attention and has to be around anywhere and in everything whenever he thinks anything is going on. Right? Okay. Anyway, I wanted to make this video for you all because I've been slacking. So let's start with that. I am sorry that it's taken me so long to get some new content up there because quite honestly, I haven't been as consistent on this channel as I would have liked to be, but I plan to change that in 2019. So stay tuned for some really exciting things to come. But the purpose of this video here is to do a Q&A because to this point I have not done one. I did do my intro video to introduce you all to the channel and to tell you a little bit more about the things I'm going to be talking about on the channel, but I've not done a true Q&A to this point, and it's well overdue. So if you are not following me on Instagram, my handle is @chatwithb. I'll leave it in the description of every video, but I did a couple of polls on there to get some questions from my readers, or from my followers rather, to kind of find out what they may want to know about me, hence the reason why I'm doing a Q&A. So I got some really good questions and I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability, and hopefully that gives you a little bit deeper of a view into some of the things about me that I may not have shared on the intro video. So I have my notes right here that I'm going to be referring to as I share the questions with you all and give you the answers. So yeah. So let's begin. So the first question is, how did I pick the name Chat with B? So if you have not watched the intro video to the YouTube channel, like my very first video, my inaugural video if you will, I have the answer in there, but the answer is it's really a play on my name. So that's the shortest answer to that, but with that it's a little bit deeper than just being a play on my name. B Chat, Brit Chat. I wanted to foster an environment where people could feel comfortable participating in conversation with me. It won't always be like in a video format where you're looking at me or whenever I go live I'm looking at you, but really to start conversation that is important, that a lot of people don't really want to touch sometimes. And yeah, so that's kind of the short answer to that, so you can chat with B. Good question. So the second question is, was it hard to decide that you would share, was it hard to decide that you would share your life with the world? So it actually wasn't as hard as you would think to make that decision. Again, I share on my first YouTube video on this channel that there was a point in time where I was on YouTube before, I was blogging before, and I was starting to share a little bit of my life there. So I kind of got my feet wet with that, and at that point it was scary and it was nerve-wracking because it's like, man, I'm about to be on YouTube, or I'm about to be on the blog or on Facebook or whatever the case may be, and I got to talk about myself and my family and the things that we're doing. And you know, being a little bit more of a private person who really doesn't like too much attention, it was hard initially. Not this go around because I did have a little bit of experience prior to starting Chat with B, but even with that, you know, I'm a firm believer of everything happens for a reason, and we experience things for a reason. It's not always to teach us a lesson, it's to be able to share with you all what's going on. So I would have to say it wasn't really hard to make the decision. He just left. What is a little bit more difficult is finding that delicate balance between sharing and not oversharing, because at the end of the day, you know, I could put myself on Front Street if I want to, and that's my decision, and depending on what the subject matter is, that affects me. But the flip side to that is there's other people involved. Like, I got a husband, I got kids, I got parents, family, and it's like, you know, you can't put everything on Front Street with no regard for how that may make them feel. So it's been interesting finding a balance to make sure that it's not alienating anyone per se, but still giving you all what it is that you were looking for when you initially subscribed to the blog or subscribed to this YouTube channel or followed me on social media. So good question. Let's see what's next. Why did I start Chat with B? So that kind of answers that question, but why I started it in a more granular level was to have a release, because things were getting real stressful, and you know, it gave me a way to rechannel that negative energy and turn it into something positive. But again, you know, I feel like I'm able to share my experiences with you all. I come across a lot of really cool things just by waking up in the morning, and whether it's researching or, you know, pitching to different brands to figure out, you know, what's going on out there and how I may be able to share that with you guys. But that's the long and short of it. It started as a release. It turned into something way more fun than what I projected it to be, and I get to share what I learned about with you all, so I couldn't ask for anything better. The next question is, how does your family feel about your blog and my platform as a whole? They love it. They've gotten used to my filming time and my blogging time, and like when certain packages come to the house and I'm like, wait, don't open that, because I gotta, you know, capture it and everything. So they're getting used to life being a little bit more scripted, but they're also getting into it, which is nice, because just like any other, I mean, this isn't my full-time responsibility. I do work full-time, but as with anything else that is important to you, it's nice when everyone else can get involved and kind of play along. Sometimes I feel like they don't really want to. They're like, oh, like, do you got to take a picture of this? Oh, do you really have to video that? But it's all, it comes with the territory. So I think for what it's worth, they like it. And when I am capturing things that have to do with the family, I try to make it not as scripted, and I try to keep everyone in their natural state so they don't feel like they're always at work. And that's really it. I haven't gotten any negative feedback. I haven't gotten like any frustration or anything from them. They're very supportive, and the ones that are on social media, like my husband, he's on social media, and you know, he shares all my stuff, and you know, he gets people involved, and like my parents do the same thing, and you know, it's great, and it's nice to be able to have that support system, so I don't feel like I'm just here doing something that nobody cares about. When am I headed out to the West Coast was one of my questions. So ironically, I will be out on the West Coast in March. I have some family things to do out there, so I don't know if I'll get a chance to see any of you. But when I do get on my travels, I'll reach out to some of you personally that I know may be in the area I'm in, just because I get, call me paranoid, call me what you want, but I get a little freaked out when I post certain things on social media, because I don't want anybody to just like run up on me and be like, oh, hey. Like, that makes me a little nervous. And I just don't like to do that. So chances are I won't say where I'm going to be until I'm actually there, like took the flight, landed, and en route to my destination, just because it just makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, I'm gonna be out on the West Coast in March. So I'll be reaching out to some of you to hit you up and see if maybe we can catch lunch or something. All right. Whew. So I get this question a lot. I am going to try to give you guys the short answer. Are you all planning on having any more kids? So for those of you who are not aware, we have 3 kids, but I'm a bonus mom. So I don't like that whole step business, like it kind of like leaves a sour taste in my mouth. So no, I'm not a stepmom. I'm a bonus mom. Bonus mom, not stepmom. So yes, I'm a bonus mom. And with that, people ask me all the time, like, oh, you guys are newlyweds. I know you guys have 3 kids. Are you gonna have any more kids? When are you gonna have kids? Kids. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, like that is a little bit of an uncomfortable question. Not from the standpoint of, you know, it makes me feel any type of way, but it's like, how can I put this? Rodney? Sorry guys, he looked like he was out there getting into something. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Oh, and with our 3 kids, we have 2 fur kids. So there's also that. So we have 5 kids. But I kind of like to look at it from the standpoint of if it happens, it happens. And that's really that. We'll see. So that's the short answer. What's been your favorite thing about your blog or your platform? So my favorite thing so far has been meeting a lot of really cool mom bloggers and like bloggers who are like me, like young professional women, like some real cool ladies. That's been one of my favorite things, just because, you know, it's nice to be able to write and to film and to post and do all of that type of stuff, but like, if you don't have anybody you can really like celebrate your successes with, I mean, what's really the point? That could be a little bit shallow, but it's all about making connections and building those relationships. So one of my favorite things so far has been just the connections that I've made across the board, and I'm happy to say that I have a lot of really cool virtual mommy blogger, cool chick vlogger friends that I'm looking forward to meeting in real life. What's been the hardest thing about Chat with B? So the hardest thing has been consistency. Like straight up consistency, because things took off a lot quicker than I thought they would, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, it's actually really great. And you know, I got a big wave of confidence early on thanks to a very good friend and sorority sister of mine that really just empowered me to just go and get it. Like pitching, making connections, creating the YouTube channel, doing this, doing that. Like, I've just like gone out there and just did a lot of things very quickly that I did not think would happen. And for that reason, there's been a lot of really quick returns. And with those really quick returns comes action that has to follow up with it. So consistency has been a little bit hard, but it hasn't been impossible. So as you can see with this video right now, I'm working on consistency in 2019 to where, you know, I'm paying my YouTube channel a little bit more attention. I said before that I would use the channel for significant moments, special occasions, and product reviews, but I can't just rock with 3 channels or 3 videos on this channel, because 1, nobody's gonna care. Y'all are gonna forget that I'm here. Get from under that. Hey, get from under there. Sorry. Nobody's gonna care that I'm here because I pop up once in a blue moon. So like I said, you know, I'm gonna keep working on content here to make sure that I'm consistent with the YouTube channel. I'm gonna make sure that, you know, I'm maintaining and even increasing what I'm doing on the blog. I've been real good with social media, but I mean, there's more to life than social media. So that's been the hardest thing so far, but I'm working on it and I have a master plan. And then lastly, what is my word for 2019 and why? I could put my phone down for this one because this is serious. As a matter of fact, let me grab my tea because it's juicy. My word for 2019 is transition. I decided that that was going to be my word for this year about a good couple months ago. So I did really think it out thoroughly, and I planned out what I wanted that to look like. And with that, I just envision a lot of change for this year. All positive, of course, at least for, you know, my personal life and the life of my family anyway. Some others may not view it as such, but we're not going to go there. But transition. There's a lot of goals and aspirations and things that I have and there are things that I want to achieve this year that I cannot achieve without transition. I made a concerted effort that anything that was toxic, anyone that was toxic, any hurt and pain that I already got the lesson from in last year, I'm gonna leave that hurt and pain and all of that negativity right where it was in 2018, because I already had the lesson. So I don't need to be dragging, you know, that toxic emotional baggage with me, because I want to do things. I want to do some really big things, and I can't do that holding on to those things. To the tune of transition, I want to continue to take the platform to greater heights. I really came out the gates strong, securing partnerships, guest blogging. I'm in the market for, well, I shouldn't say in the market because that implies money. I am actively seeking unpaid guest bloggers right now, just to make sure that I'm continuing with the networking and showing that cohesiveness, and just getting to a place to where I can continue to transition positively and continue to make good things happen. So with that, those are all the questions that I received. If you're not following me on Instagram, chances are you didn't get an opportunity to ask me any more questions or any questions. And chances are I will have to do a part 2 in the future. And if you have questions of me that you'd like to ask, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and I'll address them in part 2. So until then, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, check me out on social media, check out the blog. All of the information for that is in the description of the video, and just keep an eye out for some really cool, amazing things, because like I said, 2019 is the year of transition, and some really nice things are about to happen. So until next time.